I cannot tell you how happy I am to finally have an elytra and being able to zoom around and check out our surrounding base and area location. And it is coming together quite nicely. I did add in since last time this lovely little lily pad path. Now, I do have a little confession to make. It's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean it's been a very, very long time since I've been on the hardcore server. And that's because Craftworks has just been so much fun. I've been hanging out with all the other crafters over there, doing some things, building a new settlement, a dystopian style settlement instead of this Western themed thing behind me. But since I haven't been around, I haven't got much done. Like the bottom of the lighthouse still has not been finished, and a couple other projects. But that's not what I want to do today. I want to put the rest of my problems on a shelf and start something new. But before I do, hello there, my name is K-Hug. You can call me Kyler, and welcome back to the hardcore Minecraft journey. Grab your pickaxe, sharpen your sword, and let's get right into this. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what are we up to today, K-Hug? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I have a nice piece of real estate right up here. It's pretty flat, it's kind of nestled between these two little mounds here, and I think it's time for us to start doing some industrial things. I want to do some sort of warehouse, and hopefully store most of our bulk resources. Now, we've been storing everything in our lovely little humble home here, and you know what? We'll take you in there and I will show you the mess that we've consumed. Before, this was a nice storage area. When you're starting out in a hardcore series, you're afraid to do anything, you're afraid to go out and, oh, hello there. You're afraid to, to experience the world because you don't want to die. And so I've not needed much material-wise, I haven't done any bulk resourcing, but we've, since overflowed everything that we have, which means we need to increase the storage and get some more items, which means it is time for an industrial size storage system. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start by kind of excavating a hole here. Now, I don't know how big we'll go, and I want to make the facade, the face of this building, kind of the focal point. And then I want it to be able to continue to expand it back further and further and further into the mountain as we need more storage. Now, we are on this series 1.20, not the new 1.21 snapshot. So some of the things are going to be a little different around here. And yes, I will update the server here sometime soon. So since that's the case, we're going to have to go with a standard hopper item sorting system, which is going to require a ton of hoppers, a ton of chests, and a ton of all the other fun resources like comparators, observers, redstone bits, all that kind of stuff. But thankfully, we do have a little jump start. Now, there's going to be some things that we're going to need to do. Let's run down to the industrial district real quick. Splash down. We also need to expand on this. I need to get some more I heard a skeleton. Maybe I didn't hear a skeleton. We need to expand on this as well. Right now we just have the tree farm, the semi-automatic tree farm, the cactus farm, which I haven't been here in a while. It's doing well. And the best thing we built so far, the iron farm, which should be slowly working away. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it's evident that this thing is still working appropriately, but we've got all this room to clear out and add in any extra farms we want to do. And I definitely am going to square this up. Get rid of all these rigid cave. I might leave some of this natural cavernous areas, like this nice rolling ceiling, some of the terraformed kind of back here. But I'd really like to flat and square off everything in here, just to give us an ample amount of room to build a bunch of different contraptions, whether that be bamboo farms, kelp farms, etc., for all our future endeavors. And then I'm thinking, this is a thought, what if I pipe all of our resources, like the cactus farm, we'll bulk it up, we'll make it bigger, we'll make it better, and then we'll send all of the items somehow underneath all the way through to our new industrial building, including the iron, the poppies, the cactus, the kelp, the bamboo, anything else we do in here. I want it to all be localized at a certain point. And maybe we'll even get to use some crafters to make stuff for us. Oh, and this might be the appropriate time to mention, this is going to be the 1,000th day. We are creeping up. We are at 980. 980 days. 980 days in hardcore. I never thought I would see 100, let alone 1,000. So we got to be careful as our last 20 days come up here. But I think finishing our industrial district, and I've got one other small project maybe I'd like to touch on. We'll see if we have time. It was going to be a great way to wrap up the 1,000th day. So without further ado, let me clear a hillside and then we'll get started on today's build. I'll tell y'all what, there are times in life when I make decisions that I think are going to be really good and really cool and well worth it, and then I immediately regret it. Well, this is definitely one of these times. We are just about to the last couple of blocks, and oh my goodness, look at this hole. You know, it just also dawned on me that maybe this would have been something smarter to wait for after we got ourselves a beacon, because this was the most daunting and painful process I think I've ever done. I've done a lot of really painful things, digging or building an entire water tower, terraining a bunch of stuff, but this hole, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how many blocks they mine. But we now have a fantastic foundation for our new building. Now I also realized about halfway through that I definitely over excavated because the building is not going to reach all the way up there. So we're going to have to terraform back in some of this hillside just to make it nice and flowy. It'll land on top of the ceiling, so the building's going to be out here, and then eventually the building is going to be kind of buried into the hillside. And then, like I said, I want to be able to expand in that early direction as we continue to expand our storage. And I also thought maybe, perhaps, if I got where's this at? Behind that tree. Okay. I thought perhaps at one point in time, or eventually in the future, that in this early direction we could start a little tunnel that heads all the way through to the other side, so we can access some other farms in that early direction. We'll have the industrial district down below, piping over items into the sorting system, but then we can also put some bigger constructs on the other side, because we're going to need things like a giant paper farm, a creeper farm, and things like that, because now that we have Elytra, we're going to need lots of rockets. I spend way too many rockets flying. Way too many. Now our next steps is to put on this outer facade. I want to start with the front. I've got an idea. It's going to take some brick and some granite, and then inside, even some dripstone. Oh wait, have I found a dripstone cave yet? I have to go find a dripstone cave, I think. Maybe I've got some. Maybe we'll find one. I don't know. We'll find out. So let me go gather some resources up real quick, and then we can get started on this daunting build. Hopefully it goes better than the mining did, because I'm about to lose my mind. But I'm really looking forward to get this building done. I think it's going to be awesome. And then I don't think we'll get the redstone done today, but if I can get the structure built, everything in place, half the inside kind of design where our chests are going to go, and then after that, it'll be up to me to come back and do the redstone at another time. So let me go gather some blocks, and I will be right back. All right, well, I've officially lost my sanity, but I have gathered 3 double chests of the items that we're gonna need for this warehouse. Now, I'm gonna be real transparent right off the top right now. This warehouse that I've built, I've done some of the build just to get an idea. With the resources we have, I'm hoping we can fill in this area, but we might come up a little short. I'm gonna be honest. I was tired of punching trees and breaking stone. And in addition to that, the palette that we decided to go with is quite a bit different than everything else we have out here. Now, I guess everything is in its own way different. We started with some terracotta here, and then we ended up doing some diorite down there, and then we ended up doing a barn, which, well, barns are wood. But then we ended up doing the water tower in stone. But we tried to bring in every time we did a build, we brought in something from the last. So when we went from the house with the lovely brick and terracotta down low, and then the mainly terracotta up top, when we went over here and did this tower, we kept the roof structure the same as the foundation over here, just to tie the two aesthetics together. And I think that really has helped building the story around here. And similarly, the that thing that what is that thing? The water tower, woof, also has a brick roof just to match this as well. And same thing over there, except for it eventually transitions into copper. Wow, we've got a lot of stuff tying together around here. But this one's gonna be weird. I've got some deep slate. I've got a lot of birch, which I don't build a lot out of, and I say that as in our last couple of builds are a lot of birch, but I don't typically like birch, and this one's a little birch intensive. So without further ado, let's jump into a quick time lapse and let's see how far we get. All right, well, in the time that I had and the resources, this is as far as I've got done. Now, I will say it's not complete, it's far from, but I am very happy with how this thing has turned out. If you look closer, there's some details that I really want to show you. Let's get on up in there real quick and we'll go over those. What I really want to go over first and foremost is the gradient that I chose. Now, I did see this somewhere else. I couldn't tell you where or who, but I did see something. It was absolutely spectacular. Now, I did modify it a little bit to my own flavor, I guess, but they had a really kind of massive building with this kind of a gradient at the bottom, or a combination of blocks. Less of a gradient, more just a combination of blocks. But they had a hole in the wall that had a tapering effect where it had the granite, then the dripstone, and then the brick, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. If I could find that ever again, I would be glad to show y'all, but I really think it helped put this building into perspective, or into place, if I do say so myself. Especially like this. Look at this wall. It looks so good. That's my personal opinion. But this is the beginning of our industrial warehouse for our hardcore series. Now we're gonna have some item sorters that'll sort items into all the boxes over here and all the boxes over here. Obviously there's a weird dip because this wall over here would have a really tight corner to get to this little alcove here. I probably could have centered this door a little better. That might have made things work out a little bit better, but you know, sometimes an odd build is a better build. So I've got this weird little alcove here. I think I might use this for the staircase. This might be my access point, or over here. But then we also have an area, I think, right in here for like our workshop where all of the crafting tables are done and maybe some personal storage is taking place over here. And then we've got these really cool, well, what I think is a really cool concept for kind of like a warehouse style shelving, I guess. I don't know why I couldn't figure that word out. Warehouse style shelving with the boxes across. You got the bottom one is held up by the bamboo there. The you know, scaffold. There we go. So this is kind of like personalized items. You know, you'll have like diamonds and all the other like bits and baubles, armor, stuff that's not sortable can go in these cool shelving units down the middle. Now, I do have plans to be able to extend this in any direction. Well, that direction. And I definitely think I will. But one of the first things that we need to decide is we're going to have to go get a bunch of cows, get a bunch of leather, get a bunch of sticks, and get a bunch of item frames. And let's go ahead and start assigning things to these just so I know exactly what I'm going to need. What is going on here? Oh, these pillars are in the wall. This pillar is not. Sounds like a problem for future K-Hug. All right, well now here's an interesting point of conversation. I can obviously sort out granite, the diorites, the andesites, but the problem is all of these stairs and the walls and the slabs and I guess the polished are what's gonna cause a little bit of a headache because now I have to have double the amount of blocks of storage. I haven't built one of these in so long, and it's probably mainly because things like this just get overly expensive. I mean, the amount of boxes we would have to have. Also, this is a cool looking gradient in my inventory. Would be absolutely astronomical. Like, out of proportion, the amount of blocks that we'll need to make anything of this. I mean, look at this. What do? We've got bricks, and you've got mossy bricks, and you've got smooth stone and cobblestone and mossy cobble. How do you sort all of this out? I mean, I guess you just have... I guess I place these ones in manually, but have it auto sort the full blocks? I mean, that's the best thing that I can think of. I don't really... If anybody's got a solution for this, I am all ears, because I've got nothing. I've got nothing but a really messy inventory that's bothering me a whole lot. Like, oh, this one too! How am I going to sort wood? Like, we're going to have... Look at this. We've got stripped oak logs and regular oak logs and oak planks. I mean, I guess you have it sort the logs and then you just put the oak... I don't know. I do not know. All right, well, I think I'm just going to put all the granites and stuff in together. Can I? I'm just going to go ahead and just... Yeah. Because I don't want to waste a bunch of space. So obviously we'll have the polished and the regular granites in these things. Again, we're kind of losing... the sorting aspect of this, but I think this is going to be a better outcome. Now we've got one, we just did one for cobbles, one for stones, that's 3, oh, I've got 3 of these, but these can go together. Where did oh, there it is. That's why my inventory's messed up. I think all of these go together, but again, if we make an automatic sorting system, when am I ever going to sort in these guys? I don't really have an answer. I'm going to go tough here because tough, I don't have the update, so tough is kind of by itself. And you know what? Not torches. I am gonna put this here. I'm gonna put basalt, uh, right there. And hopefully I remember what that is. And it's gonna have all of our little pretty blocks. Now, we can do cobbles and bricks and smooth stone. So cobble, smooth stone, bricks. We'll do it in that order. We'll go cobble. As you find it, you smelt it, and you make it into bricks. Beautiful. And we'll put the variations inside. I mean, smooth stone could go in there. And now we've got a whole bunch of other boxes to do so. The problem is as well, and you know, there's a lot of problems. There is a ton of problems with sorting systems nowadays, is now we live in a Badlands. So look at that right there. Look at how many different, I mean, it's only 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 different colors, but there's 16 different colors of terracotta. Do we sort each one, or do we just sort terracotta and then we have to like place in the extra terracotta? I never thought sorting items would be this big of a pain in the butt. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. This is overwhelming. I think, you know, wood, they're all going to get their own box. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to get a box. We're going to sort them by trunk. And then when we don't use them or whatever, we just don't use anything. We leave them blank, I guess. Did I use any of the trees? We got crimson and I think that's nether stuff. So all the nether stuff, I think this is going to be a semi-auto sorting system. I think I've given up on the idea of this is going to do it on its own. I think I'm just going to put these things in the boxes and I'm going to personally open and close and sort these things because I'm at a loss for words. All right, it's a disaster. I've given up, but it is going to help. But it is going to be much more beneficial. So we got like all of our stone bits, our major stones that we use all the time, sands, terracotta, which we use a lot of. This just looks pretty because we always use these kind of in this fashion, and I love the moss stuff, so that's going to go here. Again, we've got stuff for swords and shields and armor and foods, all kind of scattered throughout these internal chests. And then we've got some like woods and, well, woods and nether stuff. These are really glowy. Have these always glown this much? Might be losing it. But I don't really have any other room, so I guess we can move over what we got. But I do want to talk about one more thing, and that is, I didn't mean to give you, did not mean to do that to you. The next thing we wanted to talk about is actually on the complete other side of our little abode here. I heard a spider and a pillager about 2 seconds ago. And I don't know where either one of them is. Okay, there's the spider. I heard him again. Yep. Yep. Okay, well, let's go check it out. Ooh, and quickly, let's just swing in here. How has this thing been doing? Beautiful. All right. So, what I want to talk about is right over in this early direction, I have a beautiful spot. You know what? Actually, we're going to go talk about it up there. All right. Now we got a good bird's eye view of down below. I want to talk about some project coming up, and I thought I had time today, like I mentioned, but I didn't. And that is that right there. Now, you're probably wondering what that right there is. Well, that I would love to see a beautiful little seaside kind of board. We're in the Badlands. Excuse me? What? It can't rain here. All right, well, anyways, I guess not to be rudely interrupted, I would like to do a beautiful, I mean, not really so beautiful anymore with yeah. A beautiful seaside kind of boardwalk. A couple little shops, little pretty umbrellas, bright, vibrant colors to kind of match the coral reef that's hidden down here. And I really, really, really think this will be a nice, pretty aesthetic. Like, it's something you get to see. You get to see the flower tower, and the lighthouse as you approach. And then you get to see this nice pop of color on this cliffside. I think we can kind of set some of this up real quick. I just want to outline kind of what I had in mind. I mean, the building fronts, the facades of the building are probably only going to be about this far. And if that's a building corner, then I also want to have room for like the boardwalk. So call that a building and call this the edge of the pier boardwalk, whatever you want to call it. I think if we do all of this slowly, and then we step back, I'm gonna like, now I am gonna do some funky stuff here. Now we don't want all the buildings to have the same front. We don't want them to be all the same shape. We definitely don't want them all to be the same size. And man, there's a long list. Or the same color. All right, well, something kind of like this. Now, I just made a bunch of random boxes and shapes and sizes and widths and all that kind of fun jazz, and we made the boardwalk not quite so just linear. It's definitely got like a slight little curve. Then it tucks in here where we might have a staircase that goes up here, or it cuts under the hill and ties into our little cave system back here. I think we'll have to probably have both. The staircase down, maybe, and then also an entrance into the cave so we can come around and jump the lily pads, or, you know, the power of flower tower path. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. But yeah, but then we actually, and then we ended it over here on the back side, kind of similar over as it is here. And yeah, I'm thinking, you know, a bunch of small, pretty little buildings, like maybe one that's got like some red hues, some green hues, some blues, some blacks and whites and grays, just a bunch of different colors to really pretty up this coastline. And unfortunately, that isn't a problem for right now because I don't have the resources or the time to try to take that on because, if you haven't guessed it, it's almost that time. But first, we sleep. So as you may all have guessed by now, you know what day it is. It is day 999. Meaning we are only one day, 24,000 ticks, 20 minutes, whatever you want, away from 1,000 days in this hardcore world. I do want to take the last couple of minutes. Let's go exploring a little bit. We've got 6 rockets. Let's explore some of the stuff that we've created along the way. This journey is not over yet, though. We're going to continue this world in perpetuity until, well, until you get bored of it. But the exciting part has been done. I really wanted to hit 1,000 days in a hardcore Minecraft, and we have done just that. Let's ride. Long ago, this place was just a simple little blip of Badlands nestled in these little Badland cliffs here. And quite honestly, this was probably the biggest change to our base location. All of this was stone up to about here, and then the rest of it was Badlands. I stripped everything away, went hundreds of blocks to find grass, planted all the grass, planted all the vegetation. We built our house, then our barn, then our chicken coop, then the fishing tower flour mill of enchanting. Then the fishing shack, the water tower, the enchanting or the villager trading hall, this weird thing, which was supposed to be a pretty productive bamboo automatic smelter delter thingamabob to smelt our ores. Yeah, that one didn't work. But it's still a pretty cool building. I like this little overdrop thing. Oh, I forgot about Neil's Arena. Yeah, we built Neil Arena, who we've rode 3 whole times this entire series. And then we built a couple cute things over here. We have our portal access up behind the back side of our little terracotta cliffs here. We've got our bridge that passes in front of our front door to access our water tower, which we forgot to put a farm inside of. We've got our honey farm down there with our lovely bee friends so that we could wax all of the rooftops of that big building over there. Oh my goodness, I just about walked off the edge. And last but not least, we have the lighthouse, which we did in the last episode, including our little flower petal tower jump maze to get to the top. And then we got an elytra. So I guess I'm not really sure what that was for. Now, and last but certainly not least, the newest addition to our build, and that is the warehouse, or the future warehouse once I get it finished. Yeah, it's kind of really not finished yet, but I do love the aesthetic of it. I think it's definitely a unique build. I guess, again, you guys have to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But I really am in love with this thing. I'm looking forward to filling it in, extending it out, and seeing just how far we need to go into that mountainside before we can be sure we have enough storage for all of our stuff. Okay, have I talked long enough yet? What? It hasn't even moved! Come on. This is our life now. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna fish till the sun goes down. He's like, I got nothing better to do. Wait, I'm not even sure you can fish in 1 block of water. Is this pointless? Oh my goodness, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. We're almost there. We are almost to day 1. A bowl? A bowl? Man, we wasted all this time, and I'm pretty sure the sun has to be rising for the day to change. It's still 9:99. I think that's because when the sun comes up, it changes. I really wanted to see the new day. Like, I wanted to wake up to it. I want to see it cross over, maybe. Oh, I don't want to ruin this. Okay. All right. I'm doing it. We're going to bed. We're going to wake up. Maybe we'll get to see it change to 1,000. Probably not. But we're going to get a good night's sleep. And we're going to be ready for the rest of our future. We did it. 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 Oh my goodness. We did it. There it is. There's the sun. Guess what day it is? It is day 1,000. Oh my goodness. I can happily die now. No. We won't die. But it has been such an emotional roller coaster. We actually did long ago in the very beginning on day 3. We had to restart. And I'm going to tell you what, I was very upset. And I would be even more upset now, being a day 1,000 if anything happened to this world. So, although we can kind of walk around stress-free, I'm still pretty stressed out. Either way, I think it goes without saying, it is time as the sun rises on the 1,000th day of our hardcore journey to extend that heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for joining me on this journey. Your support has meant the world to me. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some kind words in the comments down below. Remember, our adventure is not over as much as I want it to be over. So with all that said, until next time, stay crafty, stay courageous, and as always, stay beautiful. Goodbye.